Hey, how you doing today? Today, I'm going to be talking about who is Keith Stocks. So, who is Keith Stocks? Keith Stocks is a name, first of all. So me, I'm a human, not a name. But people call me many names. I have many names. Keith Stocks is the name of my property that I own, but I don't own it because I didn't create it. But I have possessions with it. Anyways, um, skip all of that stuff. I just really want to tell you about who I am and what I've been going through throughout my life. The first thing I want to talk about is that I have been in the Georgia Army National Guard since I was 17 years old. In August of 2008 is when I joined the Georgia Army National Guard. I was in 11th grade at that time, and it was really to be like my father because my dad was in the military when I was born, and he was still in the military, and he still is to this day. He's still in the military, and I always wanted to be like my father. So what I did was I asked, uh, I asked him one day. I said, "Dad, I want to do what you do." Because I was under the influence that the military is the way to go because it's a brotherhood, and I always wanted to be a part of something. I never really had very much support from my parents because they didn't have the financial means or the intellectual means to to raise me in the way that would have benefited the entire family. So the problem is that most black people have uh, a problem acknowledging the past of our history, and my parents are like no exception to any other families that I know or meet. Uh, they do not have the capability of understanding a complex subject of psychology the way I have studied it since I was in about 16 years old. So after joining the military, I actually um, stayed in. I went after I graduated in 2008. It was 2009. Yeah, it was 2009, which was the year after I joined the military. So I stayed in the National Guard for a whole year, and I didn't even get deployed ever, which I'm thankful for that. Um, I've been in for 4 years now, and I have not been reporting for the last couple of years, or not years, I'm sorry, for about the last year. And the reason being is because I experienced fraudulent activity at a bank on the Macon, on the Macon, uh, Georgia Credit Union. I requested a home mortgage disclosure report, and they did not want to give me that, and I had a right to request that document, and they didn't want to provide it for me. So what they did was they called my unit, and um, they had my unit have me kicked off the base for harassing them. So I could not come on the fort unless I was serving my duty, a drill. Well, the only problem was that I was actually banking with the bank that I was requesting that document from, and they did not want me to have that document because they were hiding something that I don't really know, nor do I care. I just only wanted to prove a point that they are choosing to discriminate in their lending practices. So I did an investigation and was met with fraudulent, and they acted to stop me from doing it. So, I mean, I don't care. But after that situation, though, it caused me to be kicked off the base, which is at that time being on the base because I was homeless due to um, an incident that happened in Clayton County, Georgia, which is Jonesboro, an incident that happened involving myself and a firearm. So I pled to probation, not knowing what I was doing at the time because I knew nothing about law. I was a completely incompetent fool. And after I handled that issue, which I never did handle the issue, they handled it for me. I pled nolo contender, and now that caused me to be evicted because I was in jail for 30 days. So after that, I've been homeless for a full 2 years and still in the Army National Guard. I went to various agencies seeking help for my homeless situation, especially the Covenant House of Georgia, which I do believe is a big fraudulent scam because they do not care about us. I have came to them on several occasions telling them that I'm sleeping outside, and they just told me they don't have room, but then one person told me that they do have room. So that just goes to show you that they discriminate who they allow to help or not at the Covenant House. It's not my problem. I don't care because it's not their fault that I'm homeless. And I will happily sleep under a bridge as I do right now until America wakes up and starts helping and supporting our homeless troops. Because I have done a DD-214 and I have actually found out that I am not discharged out of the National Guard. But due to my hardship and homelessness, I'm not even able to provide or even get myself to a facility for drill. And after that incident, I have been experiencing certain CEOs, I'm sorry, not CEO, certain sergeants in the higher echelon of the enlisted side of the ranks have been uh, telling me fraudulent, um, telling me fraudulent things such as do not come to drill anymore without a formal discharge. In other words, they are setting me up right now for UCMJ action um, because of my homelessness that they caused. And the truth about it is that the sergeant major actually knew what was going on at that bank because when we had the meeting, I told him what happened at the bank, and he spoke to her privately when I was there. And now, all of a sudden, I am not allowed on the base because I was very, very close to uncovering some fraud on the base, which it was not my intention. But if it's fraud, it's fraud. Somebody's trying to call me. This is the end of this video for right now.